Welcome to this week's episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in as little as 15 minutes to build your dream business. And now here's your host, the Visibility Wiz, Cindy J.
Hi, I'm Cindy J, the Visibility Wiz, and welcome to this episode of Biz Success in 15, where top experts share hot tips and strategies that you can implement in 15 minutes or less. Today our guest is Kelly Jo Murphy. She is the CEO of Legacy Empires. She's an organizational business strategist and the COO of the JV Insider Circle. She teaches and mentors ambitious entrepreneurs to have and love their 6-7-figure legacy empires with the structures and strategies that align with their natural gifts and strengths. Welcome, Kelly Jo.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm really excited to get into this topic. I know that you have been teaching for years and have a very unique style, and you're so always uniquely you. First, I would like to ask if you can share a personal or business challenge that you had to overcome in order to achieve your level of success.
Yeah. So one thing that I have seen over the years with myself, but also with tons of entrepreneurs that I've worked with as well, is that we tend to overthink everything, right? So we like to be perfectionists in the way that we put the things out there that we are offering and so forth. And then we're nitpicking all the different things. Okay, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? I knew that that was a big piece of what was getting in my way, right? In the years of growing my own businesses and so forth online. And I just was sick of it myself. So I just had to say, so what is the opposite of this thing that is this overthinking part of me? And really, it's taking immediate action and just jumping in and not thinking and not looking at where you're actually going, right? But it's taking immediate action. It's proactively jumping in. And then looking at, okay, what is going on here after I jump in versus overanalyzing before you jump in, because then you never jump in, right? Yeah. So you jump in first. Then you can take that little part of your brain that loves to look at everything, right? And you use that part of your brain after you've taken action. And then you can tweak and change and pivot and so forth. And so that was exactly what I did. And what happened is not only did my own business grow and thrive, but then I got noticed by so many other bigger names within the industry because I was being proactive, right? You get that visibility. Here you are talking all about visibility, right? The visibility actually began happening with more and more people, not just my own clients to hire me, but with bigger names that were partners and that wanted, my expertise in helping them with their business too. And so that was actually a big piece of how I also became partner and COO of the JV Insider Circle. So it's once I got out of my own way of overthinking before taking action, that was the biggest thing that actually helped me to be able to get where I am at this point now.
And I believe people overthink simply because they are afraid to make the wrong decision, and that just keeps them frozen forever and ever and ever.
Oh, I have something to say about that when we get to it. So I'm excited that you brought that up, because I know I have something to share about that.
All righty. Why do you believe that a lot of the ambitious entrepreneurs out there, people start their business and, their primary goal is always to help other people, but there's always that part in the brain that's like, I want to be free. I want to be financially free. I want to earn 6 figures. 6 figures seems to be the first goal all coaches have and all entrepreneurs. But why do they struggle so much to even obtain that mark?
Yes. So there's obviously a lot of different pieces that go into what it actually takes to get yourself to 6 figures. But the biggest one that I see is in people's marketing and their messaging, if you will. So the way that I look at it is you have to be able to speak your potential client's language of what it is they are wanting not so much about what it is that you are going to provide for them once they sign up with you. Because everybody loves their processes, right? We love how we are helping someone. So we want to talk all about that. But that isn't the part that people sign up for. The part that people sign up for is, what is that going to get them? And that, the majority of the time in your marketing is what you need to speak into in your messaging. So if you speak into that more and more, and I have like an 80-20 rule, as you've heard of the 80-20 rule and a lot of different things, right? So the 80-20 rule is 80% of your time in your marketing needs to be speaking about the outcome, the results, the language that your ideal clients are wanting and truly resonate with them. So that then when they say yes to you, then they come into your world and now you can speak all about, so to get that, this is what we're going to do. And now that's the place that you get to have fun talking about your processes and doing your processes with people.
And even you mentioning the 80-20 rule, which a lot of blogs, and I know you're not a copywriter, but we all have to copyright some way. So many people, because they want to share their stories, it's I. And nobody wants to read an I. Anything that you write, you need to think 80 to 90% you. Right. Because then you're talking directly to the person and with the person instead of at the person.
Oh, love it. Yes. Yeah. With the person versus at the person. Yes, totally.
Yeah. And that's
and that goes in not just your copy, but in any type of sales conversation. So even in just a one-on-one discovery call or something like that, it really has to be an exchange, a conversation where you're actually talking with and listening and conversing with someone rather than talking at them about why they should sign up with you.
Right. Right. And truly having their best interest at heart.
Yes.
Before any sales conversation, I will just take a minute and connect to my higher self and say, let me be of service to this person, even if it's just for this 5 minutes. What can I do for you versus what can you do for me? So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But what's really cool about that is that your offer, when you stand in it and believe in it strongly, knowing that your offer is actually going to get them what they want, then it goes hand in hand. You can be in complete service to someone by making your offer. And that's where a lot of people also get tripped up on the whole sales process, thinking that they now have to turn into a salesperson.
Right.
No, if anything, you're being of even higher service by making your offer. That's actually part of the serving them, is that if you don't even offer them what it is that you have that could actually get them what they want, you're doing them a disservice. So making your offer in any kind of sales conversation is part of the serving.
The first step is always to get clear on who you're serving. And whenever you know who you're serving, then it's just like you're sharing a movie with your best friend. It's like, wow, Kelly Jo, I just seen this movie and I know that you're just going to love it. So you have to go see it because, this and this and this, because, it's a great date night movie or it's a great chick flick or whatever, but you're connecting with a person and really sharing with them something that they will like and enjoy.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, because you know them so well.
Right.
And that's part of it as well, is that when you get to know who your ideal clients are so well, it's an easy conversation because you already know what their likes and dislikes and their, what they're suffering with and, all those kinds of things so that you can be there to serve and help them. Yeah.
And just for if there's any listeners out there that isn't quite for sure what a legacy empire is, can you tell us what a legacy empire is?
Yes, absolutely. So empire, first and foremost, is really about building your business and all of the aspects of your wealth, not just your business. So like say, for instance, my husband and I, we have been entrepreneurs for over 26 years. We have real estate investments. We have other investments. We've had businesses. We have more than one business. So it's like diversifying all of the aspects of your wealth, which brings your whole empire into play. Now, to me, the biggest part of that is probably going to be your business. So we want to get your business to the place where it is the thing that's actually sustaining all of your other wealth building things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So legacy is then all of the ways that you use your business to actually touch other people's lives and leave that legacy. So there's a lot of people's lives you could be touching, your own family, be an example for them of someone who goes after what it is that they want and their goals in life, right? You're touching your clients, you're touching your clients' clients, so it's a big ripple effect, right? You're leaving this legacy behind this way. And another piece to it is even all of the people that you employ and hire. You're helping them by hiring them, by you growing a bigger and bigger business. You are able to actually touch more lives by hiring people. So there's so many different ways that as you build your business bigger, you can actually touch more lives. What I like about really building a true legacy empire at the highest level is that you can do it in ways that when you learn the organizational structure of how to set it up, you're not working any more or working any harder. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people think, oh my gosh, it's so hard right now. I can barely, get a few clients and I'm working my butt off, right? And it's like, oh, to get to 6 figures, to get to 7 figures, I'm going to have to be working this much more. I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want to be working even harder. All of that comes down to the organizational structure of how you actually run your business. And being COO of JV Insider Circle, that is my exact job of running this $1 million business, of how to actually structure everything so that, Rich actually can go off and, be on the ocean most of the time, right? Because of the way that I've structured the company.
And I love earlier too that you had said how that not only your clients, but your clients' clients, because every person, I always say every person that we meet can change our lives and vice versa, but it's also every person they meet. So you can say one thing to somebody who is going to go and show more love to their child or more love to their neighbor that they've been having problems with. So even though you may not think you're touching that many people's lives, in actuality, you can be touching thousands and millions of lives just by interaction with one person.
Well, so the thing right here, during, the holidays that just popped up in my mind is It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, look at that movie, right? And he didn't think that he had any effect on anyone, but all of the lives that he touched just by being him and doing what he knew was right, in his life and so forth, and all the people it touched. And so, just an example, just because that, it's the holiday time now.
Yeah, and I love the movie It's a Wonderful Life. And the big thing about that is he always remained him and he always held to his values. He wouldn't break his values and his ethics for anybody. That's really, to me, the sign of a successful person is somebody who will not break their values or their ethics to get ahead.
Yes. Very good.
Can you share a business strategy with our listeners that they can implement in as little as 15 minutes or less?
Yes, absolutely. So this is the thing that we kind of teased a little bit about when I said, oh, I've got something to share about that. So really one of the hallmarks of being a successful entrepreneur is being able to make decisions quickly. Because going back to that first challenge that I talked about, when you overthink something, you're not deciding. Because once you make a decision, you can actually get into action over that decision. But if you haven't decided yet about anything or whatever you're working on, you can't actually take that action, right? So you need the decision point to happen first for you to actually then take action on that decision. Right. So what I have seen is that when people have not gotten to the place of, say, the 6 figures and then getting to the 7 figures and so forth, they're not really good at making decisions for themselves. Or they make the kinds of decisions that are based more on what somebody else tells them is right for them versus what they know is right for them. So we all have our own answers of what is right for us inside of us. We already know. Yeah. So if we
Yes,
already
definitely.
know, yeah. So if we already know what is actually right for us, we have to tap into the place within ourselves that has that answer. So when we tap into the place that has that answer, we can make a decision from that place to be able to then move forward. So there are usually, in the majority of people out there, two different areas that someone usually makes decisions from. So it's either going to be from their gut and their
Mm-hmm.
instinct, right? So a lot of people make gut decisions. We've heard that. It's also another, intuition is actually another term for that. So
Right.
from gut, from your intuition, it's just like this knowing inside yourself. And if that is your way of making decisions, then whenever it's time that you have these different choices in front of you, you need to go into your gut and ask your gut, what is the right decision for you to make right now moving forward? And then
Right.
honor it. Honor it. Don't question it. Don't question it. That's a
Yeah,
big
just jump in.
thing.
Yeah.
Step into that. It is the right decision for you, you
Mhm.
know? So then the second way that majority of people make decisions is more by their feelings or their emotions, because that's a little bit different of a place within that person
Right.
of where they make decisions. So I'm a gut instinct intuition kind of person. And my husband is more of the feelings emotional person. So when we're making decisions and we're going back and forth, say, and we're, in our business and so forth, I have to make sure that I ask him, so how is this feeling? Does this
Right.
feel right to you? So that he can feel into the place of his own feelings to make the decision for himself from that place. My decisions tend to be a little bit quicker
Mm-hmm.
because the gut instinct happens a little faster. It was like, okay, I know that's not right. Oh, that's the right one. So it's like, that's the place that I know that I'm making the right decision.
Right.
So anybody who's listening, think about which is the place within you that your right decisions lie. Tap into that
Mm-hmm.
place when you need to make a decision and then honor it and move forward with it. Trust it.
Right.
So I will bet you the majority of entrepreneurs out there, because I've worked with tons of them who, when they really honor this within themselves, they go, oh my gosh, I did know the answer. That was right.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved forward, more wonderful things happened because I made the decision from the right place within myself. And then that's usually what happens. Things open up more and more. But when we make the decision from either the wrong place within ourselves or from outside of ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things get stuck, things go awry, things don't work out. They
Right.
really don't, right? So tap into that place that is your natural decision making place. And you're going to see much more results happen because you're honoring your decisions.
And two, I believe a lot of us can even use both of those ways. And one of the strategies that I tell a lot of people, which I think probably goes more along the feelings, but if you stand up and you say, I choose to do A and I choose to do B, whatever, and I've always called it your gut instinct. If it's what you're supposed to follow, your body's going to feel good. You're not going to have any resistance in your body. But if it's something that you deep in your heart know you shouldn't do, you're going to have resistance in your body. Your stomach might hurt, or your head might hurt, or your throat might choke up as you're saying it. So, I think that goes more into the feeling, and I've never really deciphered the two between the feeling and the intuition, because I've sort of combined the two with
Mm-hmm.
doing it this way.
Well, you know what? And when you find your own combination that works
Mm-hmm.
for you in making the right decisions your way, then that is exactly the way that you should be doing it.
Right,
Right?
right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
absolutely.
Long time ago, I was at this conference, and the speaker had somebody from the audience come up, and he said, try to pick up the chair. And you cannot try to pick up a chair. You either pick it up or you
Mhm.
don't. There's
Yeah,
no in between. And whenever people are stuck with trying to make a decision, they're really not doing anything. They can say they're
right.
confused or whatever, but they're not doing anything, because you don't know what action to take next unless you take the first action.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
that's
love
the
that.
jumping in. That's the
Yeah,
jumping in
yeah,
thing. You
yeah.
jump in first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can analyze, Was
Right.
that the right thing to do or not? And, what worked, what didn't work? Do I need to pivot this way? Do I need to pivot that way?
Yeah. And
Exactly.
knowing, regardless what happens when you jump in, it's never, ever, ever a mistake. It's a learning opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
for
yes,
sure.
I love that. And I know that you have a wonderful gift for our audience. Can you share a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is the 10K month master plan, and it is 5 essential steps to get to that 6-figure mark without compromising your integrity and who you are, and so forth. And this 10K master plan has these 5 steps, and I'd love to share the first one because it actually feeds right into many of the things that we've talked about already. And the
Sounds good.
first Yeah. So the first step is truly doing every single piece of your business from your most integrity, natural gift place. So here we are when we're talking about making decisions,
Mhm.
not making decisions from not your place of making decisions. You have to make it from your place, right? Anything else that you do in your business, your messaging needs to come from your most authentic place. Your branding, your marketing, your sales, and the way that you actually do your marketing, the way that you do your sales, and so forth. All of it needs to come from what is your most authentic way of doing anything. Because there are so many tactics out there, so many different strategies,
Right.
right? And we get bombarded with the messages. Oh, you're going to, just make $1 million by just doing this one tactic, right?
Right.
Is that one tactic actually in alignment with your natural way of doing business? If it isn't, don't sign up for that program
Mhm.
because it isn't going to get you the result that it is promising. It is going to get the result for the right people that actually do the
Mhm.
program, right? Because that tactic is actually meant for them. But if it's not meant for you, you need to have, and that's where my organizational structure, knowledge and expertise comes in, is organizing the structure and the strategies of what is natural and right for each person in building their business, and actually getting to that 10K month, getting to the 6 figures and beyond and so
Mhm.
forth. Because then the whole structure of every piece of your business, your systems, your marketing, your team, how you lead your company, all of it needs to come from that most aligned natural place within yourself.
Right.
So that's really the first step, is that everything stems from your most natural gifts and strengths place
Right.
so that everything else can fall into place.
And so many people think they need all these one tips or one strategies that's going to make them $1 million. And
Yeah.
really, if you think about it, if there really was only one thing, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
And because we're all unique and we're all
Exactly.
different, we have to find our own way. And that's why there's so many strategies. Different strategies work for different people. And I believe we all
Right.
have different mentors. And so, I may grab a strategy from Kelly Joe and I may grab another strategy from Rich, because even though they're business partners, they're different
Yeah.
people and they have their own unique way of doing business.
Yeah.
So it's picking up the strategies that you align with, and then whenever you put them all together, that makes you uniquely you.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said before, this is what and how people get stuck, is that they're picking up all these strategies that
Hmm.
aren't actually in alignment with them.
Right.
So this is part of the deeper work that I actually do with
Mhm.
my private clients, is we look at more deeply what are your natural alignment places within each part of your business, so
Mhm.
that we can make sure that as you make decisions from your decision place about what's right for you, we know that it's in alignment. And that's when flow actually happens, to actually get to your goals and so forth. It actually just begins flowing into place. So,
Exactly. And just magic starts happening. You have your magic flow. And to our listeners, you want to grab Kelly Jo's gift, the 10K a month master plan. Visit bizsuccessin15.com. You'll also be able to re-listen to today's show for any golden nuggets that you might have missed from Kelly Jo's wisdom. And with that, Kelly Jo, do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Oh, well, I think we covered actually a lot. So I think that's been really good. The main thing to me is as you are growing your business, you need to step into almost a new version of yourself with each place of growth. Even though, yes, you're always going to be the same person that you're going to be aligned with and so forth, there's a bigger version of you that you need to step into when you're moving into, say, six figures. And there's a completely different way of looking at yourself and life and business when you're stepping into seven figures. And those aspects of who you are as you step into these new places of growth in your business, you need to really be able to, embody for yourself. So think about, what would a six-figure business owner do in this situation? And then that will help you to actually lead your company to get to that place. So that would be my last parting tip
Right.
for you.
I love that. Yes. Yes. What would a six-figure business owner do? Because whenever you're never going to move forward without a new way of thinking.
Yeah,
And so you have to tap into what the six-figure people are doing so you can step into it. That's a
exactly.
great parting words. I love that. And to our listeners, I hope you enjoyed today's show, and you feel free to share it with your friends. You'll want to hop on over to Biz Success in 15, where you're going to find all of the links from today's show. You can also re-listen to today's show, catch up on past episodes, and be sure to grab Kelly Jo's gift, the 10K Master Plan. So with that, big hugs, and be sure to tune into Biz Success in 15 next week for more tips and strategies from top experts. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Biz Success in 15. For all links mentioned in today's show and to watch or listen to previous episodes, visit bizsuccessin15.com. Thanks so much for listening, and be sure to tune in next week for another amazing guest.